You're listening to the Comic Crusaders Podcast. I am your host, Al Mega, CEO of Comic Crusaders and Undercover Capes. In this show, I'm sitting down with creators from all walks of life to talk about inspiration, process, the lessons they've learned, and a whole lot more. Well, what's good, mi gente? It's your boy Al Mega, Brooklyn Energy, fully charged, and today we are bringing back a straight-up mad scientist, baby, of indie comics. You heard? That's right. Man, this return guest right here, he's an alum. He was here back on episode numero 440, so do your homework before I say his name, all right? My man is back in the building, and why? You know why? It's because chaos doesn't sleep. Creativity doesn't nap. And issue number 3 of his upcoming Kickstarter for the wild, unhinged, and brungy bold, the Madcaps is upon us. That's right, the Madcaps numero 3, baby. This ain't a sequel interview. This is a level up conversation, you heard? We're talking evolution, pressure, glow-ups, hard lessons, creative risk, and how you can keep momentum when the universe says, you sure about that? So strap in, helmet on, and let's ride with the DM himself, the big boss, the indie legend, Ray Jamison, baby. How you doing?
I'm doing well. I'm doing awesome. I'm just trying to push this forward on my socials so everybody else knows to come listen to us.
Go ahead, keep
pushing. Done and done. But yes, so man, life is really good. It's really cold up here. In Fahrenheit, we're in like the minus 40s, which is like super cold, like really cold.
But how are you? Fucking Antarctica?
Winnipeg. It is just like maybe 2 weeks ago it was really bad, and we got a really bad cold snap now, and then the snow melts and everybody forgets how cold it was. So with that said, I'm having a really good time. I enjoy this element, and it's more excuse if I'm indoors to focus on making stories, which is what this is all about.
All right, so basically it's Jameson season.
Yes, that's right. That's exactly right.
Jameson season, and the world better watch out because my man is letting loose. He's letting loose with the Madcaps and the 3, which will be live on Kickstarter real soon, folks. But now, brother, you are back on Comic Crusaders. Now, what version of Ray Jamison am I getting today as compared to over 200 episodes ago?
My third issue. The version of me is still I'm a fan of making friends. I'm a fan of telling stories, and I'm a fan of that. Yep, there's Mr. Higgins, fellow Canadian out on the East Coast there. I'm more in the central area. And one of the most beautiful things I love about storytelling is the camaraderie and writing together. I really enjoy making stories together, and even if it's just you tell a bit of a story and somebody listens and they guess or give their input, and maybe the next time you tell that story, it may have an influence on you. And I'm an extrovert. That really has a very deep meaning to me. So it isn't just me telling the story, it's others through me, and that's really, really profound for me.
Excellent. So let me ask you something here, brother. What did old Ray get wrong that new Ray fixed? No, issue 1 Ray, issue 3 Ray.
Oh no, that's a solid question. Big one is confidence on what you're doing. It doesn't have to be anything else other than what you're doing. So just let real stuff be real stuff, and just you're going to tell, I want this to happen, and I want this artist on my project, and I want to make sure that I have at least these things covered. I want this cool cover. I'm more focused on what I want as opposed to the great uncharted territories and feeling like I'm lost in all these options. I decided I don't need to know all the options. I want to do what I think is cool and go with that.
All right, there we go. Now, issue number 3 usually separates the dabblers from the believers. Now, what did this issue demand from you personally?
This issue, it's the final issue in a miniseries, so this has to be a statement.
Ooh.
If you think of volleyball, it's bump, set, and spike, as they say. Well, this thing's got a spike. In my biased opinion, this thing spikes very hard. The first issue is just a build-up, and the second one is for the characters to understand what they've gotten themselves into, and the third one is, can they make it out alive? This whole thing just takes place in one night, so I'm leaving this story. It's got to be that exclamation point. Larry, yes, we have options. That's right. You know what? I'll be reviewing Larry's book soon. Niobe Outbreak. He's got the 5th one coming out.
Oh, nice.
He was
Larry doing his thing too, huh?
Was very ever so kind to be giving me the first 4 issues digitally. And
Wait,
I'm having a lot of fun.
Ray. So, do you watch Impractical Jokers?
It's been a
Have
while.
you watched it though in the past?
Yes.
Now you know how sometimes Joe will always look for his friend Larry. Is it this Larry that he was looking for? Just asking, you know.
You know what?
Possible?
It could be. Just Larry coming on here and saying those nice words. It's really, really cool. The amount of network in such a small community. I've felt nothing but support and encouragement. And it's a me, Mario. Yes, it's a me. But it's really, really awesome to speaking to someone like yourself, speaking to Larry, who's leaving the comments here, going on various different podcasts, and all the not fake nice, but like practical, hey, it's really cool you're doing that, or I really like this about your story. None of the like, it was good kind of thing.
Oh, I get it, man.
I really like the support.
I hate those motherfuckers. I'll say that shit dead ass because I'm one of those. Listen, man, if you come in on here, it's because I do genuinely love what you're doing, and I like the energy, and I want people to see this too, man. Because again, sometimes, you know, some indie, not all indie, because I think, you know, we're living in an indie golden age, but there's still some indie creators that still need to get noticed, that needs to be seen, that yo, they're really doing some cool shit if you haven't heard, you know what I mean? Like, you know, I know you like so and so, but if you like this, you might like that. So, you know, that's why I'm glad to always have people like you on the platform. And again, you know, the second time on the platform, baby. So again, you know, thank you for wanting to come back on and chat with me. Now, let's get into this, man, because we gotta let them know about the passion of the Madcaps. So when did the Madcaps stop being a project and start being a responsibility? Like, yeah, I'm definitely telling this story. Motherfuckers better watch out, because this is it.
Well, it definitely still feels like leisure. I don't treat it as leisure, but it feels like it's fun. I don't feel like I'm weighted down by it. I don't feel like I'm doing right by Uncle Ben kind of responsibility. I feel more like I'm just promoting other people, and I get to tell the story at the same time. So one thing I've been very happy to do is, as I've discussed this with other people, I can finally, since issue 1 came out, issue 2, I could only review so much. I could only talk about so much, but now issue 1 and 2 are out. The whole thing's open game, so I can actually answer questions, where before, like, issue 1 comes out just before it launches, well, I can say some things, but you'll like it, I promise.
You're like a stripper. You're teasing everybody, but you can't give up all the goods. I get it, man. Listen,
hopefully
man,
I get their money
is like
too,
a strip club. I'm telling you, the game of indie is like a strip club. You got to tease, but you can't solve all the goods.
Hopefully I get the money too, right?
Oh, let's hope, man. Let's hope you get those private rooms, bro. You know what I mean? WEPA, you know. And that's what the private rooms are like, the Kickstarters. You get that funding, right? You know, especially through Phil Bo. Big shout out to Phil. You know, I met Phil all before the Diamond, you know, deconstruction, and how he's an independent creator, and to see how he took a chance with what was going on with the distribution game, and to step up. I'll give Phil a lot of shout out. Like, you know, only thing I ask Phil is, please stop doing videos sometimes. Yo. Don't get mad, bro. We're men.
I hear you.
Logical re-emotion, all right? Now,
one thing Phil and I kind of joke that we're kind of like buddy cops. You know, you have buddy cops. Usually their contrasts complement each other.
Yeah.
Anytime I have a conversation with him, we're the same in a lot of ways, but different in a lot of ways. And
Are you
really
Chris
cool
Tucker?
contrast.
Are you Chris Tucker or Jackie Chan?
I would say more like Murtaugh.
Are you He's a wild man, baby.
I'm getting too old for this stuff.
Yeah, bro. Love it. I love it, man. Now, bro, what emotions were you chasing hardest now with issue 3? You know, was it rage, was it joy, fear, or was it controlled madness, or was all of the above?
Obligation. Gee, that's a really good question. Obligation is definitely one on there, but sometimes I think gratitude is a big one in there, although that would be hard to explain even if you read it. But I know I've said this on many other podcasts, but if you have a group of friends that you don't get to see as much, everybody, when you hit a certain age, you don't get to see your circles as much as you want to, and there's lots of reasons for that. It could be work. For me, I moved across country. It could be responsibilities, kids, and the list goes on. But this book is an homage to that level of camaraderie. So if you were a fly on the wall and hang out with a random group of friends, you would understand how well they get together. They may have an inside joke or two that you don't quite understand for obvious reasons. And these 3 issues, they take place in one night. It's the exact same thing. You will definitely get that feeling. It's a night out with the boys kind of thing, except there's some dangers and some threats that they unintentionally ran into. These guys haven't seen each other in quite a while, and they're just back together, and they're in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Ray, are you telling yourself in this story? Are you telling yourself that you have this wild night that's being told?
Well, us Canadians, it's pretty cold up here. But jokes aside, these characters I did base off of people I know, and various other things. Like there's quite a few things going on in regards to. I've already mentioned homage to camaraderie, but one thing. Each individual, for example, for our banner, you chose my latest picture of Chazgo there. Chazgo is an individual. I should back up a second. Every character, as many characters do, their main question that I wanted to fulfill in portraying them was, who am I and how do I fit in this world? All 4 of the main characters, that answer is very, very different from each other. Chazgo's, for example, he seems to be one of the fan favorites. He's this blue-skinned elf. His people, he's not a fan of. He feels they're dysfunctional. They don't like outsiders. They hang out in a silver-riddled mountain range. That's why his skin is blue. Humans in real life, they do that. Their skin turns blue if they're exposed to silver too much, especially if they eat it.
No, I need to take off my chain. Stop scaring me, man.
Well, you got to eat it. You got to eat it, essentially. No, jewelry's fine. You're good.
All right, thank God, bro. Stop scaring me, Ray.
But Chazgo, he would be killed on sight by outsiders. Everybody vilifies Chazgo's specific type of elvish individuals. Using magic, he was able to disguise his appearance and blend in as a human. I think a lot of people, this is just one example, but I think a lot of people can really relate to that. Nobody wears their entire identity on their sleeve on first impressions. Usually the stuff that, well, not as many people like this per se, maybe I won't open with that statement. I think a lot of people can relate on that one example alone. I tried to have a lot of relatability amongst these individuals. And another, this is a little bit of a tangent, but they're not the mightiest of individuals in this realm. They get, in the very first issue, 3 of them almost get overrun by zombies, and they're saved by guards, which is the equivalent of like Captain Kirk getting saved by a bunch of red shirts. And ooh. I think most people are inspired by the champions and the best of the best, but most people can't relate to that. Most people are like, oh, there's the cool guy doing the cool thing. What is the best version of me I can provide? And that is something I really wanted to heavily underline amongst all 4 of them in very different ways.
I gonna get that, cause if you want to think about that character wise, let's see if I got this right. Think Die Hard. Obviously Bruce Willis was the hero, but my
Yes.
man, what was it, Mr. Winslow? I forget his name in the
Yes.
movie, but
Yes.
he was the small guy, the little minor hero, but everybody rooted for him, man. And cared what happened to him, regardless of whether he was the main protagonist or not. Right?
Yes.
Learn this, like the stories of the little guys.
Yes, and they're important. Some people think if they're not the best, they don't have any role. I think of, not many people like this movie, but Signs with Mel Gibson from almost 25 years ago.
I think it's a good movie.
I love the movie. It obviously has its flaws, but putting those aside, one of the visuals I love by the end of that movie is the main character running his son outside to clear his lungs. But the tough guy is the brother, Merrill. He's with the baseball bat in the background beating down the antagonist. And I thought that was very powerful. It really feels to me like I need to do my part, but I don't need to be the champion. So yeah. I'm going to be the champion of my surroundings. And that's something I really tried to show through all these four characters in different ways.
See, that's why people connect. That's why you got issue 3 and then up to issue 150, 60 coming, right? I see what you're doing here, bro. You're willing this. Listen, people always need characters to connect with. And again,
yes.
You don't need that Dustin the Big Two, folks. You see how my man Ray is telling you, look what he just said. Shit, that's me right there. Sometimes, in those positions, I don't want to be the fucking superstar. He's the superstar, not me. I want to make him shine. So now, what's one creative decision in issue 3 that maybe would have scared the hell out of you, when you started creating?
Dude, you're good at pulling information out of me I don't want to give with the public yet, but I'll share it. How about a tidbit? I'll give a tidbit. I'll give a little tidbit. Okay,
he's even sit for his book, folks. I know.
This is an exclusive. This is an exclusive. So it's not a big deal, but it's a tidbit. Something I would have never foreseen myself doing is multiple covers for an issue. At least not a lot. So the first issue I had 5 total, 1 of the group, and then variants, 1 of each individual character. I did the same thing for issue 2. For issue 3, I have a little bit more. So I have my group shot, of course, and I've got 1 of all 4 characters. They're not all debuted yet, but I also have an antagonist cover. But how do I word this? There's more. Okay. I do have an homage piece, and it is a throwback to. I'm not going to say what the throwback is, but if you're
something classic,
if you're Gen X and you've got some nerd in you, you may notice it. I'll put that humbly. And there's something else coming, and I can't say. But to go back to your question, I would have never foreseen myself going this deep into covers. These ones are justified, especially the ones I haven't mentioned yet. It'll make sense eventually. But as for right now, my lips have to stay sealed. But yes, issue 1, I would have never foreseen all these cool covers, but I'm happy I'm doing them now. That's for sure.
I get it. See, because I'm one of those that, oh my God, multiple covers, it's hard to do. It's because, again, I try to be a completionist, but there's sometimes that, you know what, I have to put brakes because this is no way I could afford this.
Yeah, you got to be smart.
Yeah, so, but so long as they're dope ass covers, I might do 2 or 3. I started to do that from the cartoon. How many lumps do you want? 2 or 3?
Well, you know what? It's fun. It's funny you mentioned the word 3 and covers, but I can't say any more to that. But that's all I can hint. There's going to be some cool stuff.
Yeah, Ray is teasing like a stripper for real, bro. Where the hell is the goddamn pole, bro? He teasing it. And folks, listen, I know you see that QR code up in the corner over there. Per usual, I'm telling you, go hit up that pre-launch. You know what? Let me show you the page so you know that you are landing on the right one. So when you go and hit that QR code, this is where you should be landing. You see that button right here? Notify me on launch. Check that out. 102 followers, football publishing. My man, 12 created so far. 12, baby. My man is not just he's not no rookie. You know what I mean? He's not a junior. He is a veteran on his 12th tour.
Yeah, we're not messing around.
Man, the Mac. Oh, and talk to me. What is it about Kickstarter that keeps you coming back to this particular platform to help launch the projects?
Well, if it isn't broken, why would I question? If it's successful, I would just keep doing the successful thing, right? So why not? I guess that's really my only logic behind answering that.
All right. Now talk to me here. What did collaborating on this issue teach you about trusting other creators?
No, that's a solid question. So my very first issue, I made the storyboards and I was very descriptive on all the panels. Now, one thing I stopped doing is I stopped making the storyboards because the main reason is if I give too many creative constraints, I don't get the best from the artist. And there's many cases where the artists have better ideas than me. That is they can only show me through the drawing. So if I let them pick apart at the storyboard, I still describe the panels I'm looking for, but I get a better product by giving them more control on that specific avenue.
Is there anything that you start learning to let go?
That was the big one.
Okay.
In regards to color, I'm less picky. Okay. And so my interior artist, shout out to Victor Medina. We also have the brothers Kemp, Dan and Dave Kemp. Dan Kemp and Dave have colored everything from like over 100 issues of Spawn to like John Romita Jr.'s Amazing Spider-Man, Marvel Knights Daredevil from the turn of the century, and the list goes on and on and on.
Drop them names. I need my broom.
I am less picky with the color for the same reason, because if I give too many creative constraints, I don't get to see their flair. So I need this to be generally this color, and they give me something really awesome, and it's better than anything I could have anticipated.
I dig it. Now, be real, my brother, right here. What panel or page made you sit back and say, "Oh, we cooked right here"?
Issue number 2. The first time you see Chazgo's pet, it's a 3-eyed albino crow named MX. MX is, depending on some lore of fantasy, it would be referred to as a familiar. So Chazgo is able to see through its eyes. At one point, they're going to infiltrate a bandit's location, a little stowaway hideout. And before they go in, they want to know what they get themselves into. So MX flies over and gets a lay of the land. How many buildings, how many armed guards, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But there's one page there. It's a splash page, and it is a thing of beauty. I'm going to look it up for you while I'm talking here. But the result of how the combination of what Victor drew out, because I just described it, and then Dan Kemp's flair on that page it's just a thing of beauty. I don't know how else to describe this. I'm going to look it up. I almost have it here.
No, don't you worry. You take your time, then you can put it presentable, put it on screen if you want to show it off, and make people feel as as good as you do, and happy, and go to sleep like dreaming and craving this book. Well, and folks, I know while he does this again, go take a picture of that QR code, go ahead and land on this page right here, and go ahead, hit this notify on launch. I mean, and while you're looking for that, when you expect this to launch?
We're looking early mid-April. It's not hammered down. Here's the page here. I found it. We're looking, April. So it's February right now.
Well, so about 2 months
8 to 10 weeks. Yeah, it's not that far away.
All right.
All right, let me share my screen.
And are we looking to have the book kind of like completely done before launching, so the way people are just confident?
Yes.
Excellent. There we go.
Yeah,
See,
that's the
folks.
plan. We're getting close. We're getting very, very close.
See,
Share
folks.
screen.
That's how real creators do it. They pregame, they get their book together. Yep. And here we go. Boom. Let me take mine off the stage. Yeah, go ahead.
There we go. Here, I'll zoom in a little bit.
Oh, bro.
So in the middle, you have Chazgo, and he's looking through his bird's eyes, and you can see the different buildings and the different critical details. It is just a thing of beauty what these two are able to put together. Even the glass sheen on what he's seeing through the eyes to show it's a different lens, for lack of better wording, no pun intended. But earlier on, you get to see MX up here. It's the first time you see this three-eyed. I'll zoom in a little bit here.
Yeah, that looks so sick, bro.
Yeah, I'm very happy. These guys are Sears MX flying up so they can get a look on this compound.
That coloring is no joke. And the
These guys
panel
don't mess
layout
around,
on
man.
that panel layout right there is insane.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's nothing short of beautiful. Anybody watching this right now, if you click on follow on that pre-launch for the Kickstarter, even if you think it's cool but you can't help out financially or anything to that effect, just that follow is going to aid me in regards to the algorithm, and I will be it's just going to be an awesome thing. But issue number 3, what you're seeing here in spades, there's people. We're gonna throw down like Greeks holding dishes, Opa, boom.
Yeah, well, I mean that's a big WEPA right there for real, because that's what it looks like. Well, that looks amazing. I cannot wait to lay eyes on this fully and have a great complete read. Again, I need you to show these goodies off. People, again, you heard, you got 2 months to save that bread. That means, you know what that means? That by then tax returns are coming in. So let me give me no shit that y'all broke. That's bullshit. I know my man timed it. He knows Americans, and this, I'm seeing tariffs being dropped in a lot of places. Is this a tariff-free Kickstarter?
You know what? What I will tell you is my publisher's in New York. So anybody watching,
okay, thank God.
we'll just say it's very terrific.
Okay,
it's a bad joke, but that's okay. I'm a father of 3, so
hey man, dad
jokes are strong.
Dad. Yeah, but when we're dads, it's okay. It's excusable. Now, if you have no children, you have no excuse to be.
Yes, sir.
But I'm absolutely very excited for you, bro. Since the last time, to see where you're at, to see this creative team you got going, and it obviously is looking better. Big boss. Now, if Kickstarter succeeds beyond expectations, how does that freedom change the next creative move?
Well, to be honest, I don't know what the next move is. I was just anticipating this miniseries. So
really,
this is the final issue. All 3 issues takes place in one night, like I was saying before. It's a complete package. There's no disrespect to any other brand, be it Marvel, DC, or any others, but my story doesn't have 60 years worth of lore that you have to have memorized to be able to appreciate this. It doesn't have you see a new comic of an old brand or a new movie of an old brand, you have fans with high expectations and sometimes to an unrealistic level. This, you can go in having no idea what you're getting yourself into and finish the story fully intellectually stimulated. You can actually, you know what? I appreciated that story, and it's one complete package. You're not going to be missing out. It's not like insider trading baseball or anything like that. You can just read the 3 issues and the end, and it's done. And
you know what you're doing? You're bringing a 70s style approach, like in film. Look at 70s movies. A lot of those were one and doners. You never seen the remake. You never
the 80s as well. Yes.
Some of the 80s, that's when the sequel started. In the 80s is when the sequel madness started. But when we go into early 70s, mid, late, and I say very early 80s, you had those one and doners, and
Yes.
and it was tragic. Everybody motherfucking dying. You know what I
It
mean?
was Shakespearean. Yeah.
Yeah, everybody dying. I just watched that movie Crazy Joe.
I haven't seen Crazy Joe.
Yeah, Crazy Joe, the '70s one. And I'm like, yo, that shit was wild, yo. What the hell just happened here? This is, and then I wound up seeing a documentary about the real Crazy Joe. I'm like, oh shit, the movie really did touch on a lot of cool aspects of what this,
Wild.
a lot of things was exaggerated, but a lot of shit was really on the money too. I'm like, oh shit, wow, this motherfucker was really crazy, man. Now, what did this issue right here, though? Again, it's issue 3. It's the last. What did this issue teach you about patience?
Patience? Well, issue number 1 came out in April of 2024. Issue number 2 came out in April of 2025. And here we are, almost April of 2026.
1 a year, man. Having babies like this, you take a 3-month break between births, and then there's another one.
That's right. But it was, and I've said this other places, it's torture not being able to talk about this. So that was definitely a lesson in patience. I can count on one hand how many people have read this script from the first to the second to the third. And I think the most encouraging thing is people are liking the story. And we were joking before about, oh, it was good. None of that. I thought this was really cool, or I liked this happened, or there's one funny part in the second issue, believe it or not. One of the characters has to disguise himself as a woman to sneak past some bandits. And it sounds ridiculous, but when you watch it, you're like, this makes sense. This was a cool use of that person's powers. This was I would have never considered this. At one point, 3 of them, 2 are in disguise, are trying to sneak into an area. And the third one is thinking, we don't know what we're imposing as these other people. We're imposters. We don't know what their voices were. And so one guy's thinking, we're going to get caught. And there's some tension there and little things like that. So I'm happy with all of the small compliments. Like, I don't want to hear it was good, it was awesome. I want to hear this was a cool concept. I want to hear about, you know what, I like this. I personally would have went a mildly different direction and made sure to add this perspective or something like that. But overall, the fine details, I feel, is what I'm enjoying the most out of people's feedback.
Yeah, well, now you got me thinking that if I'm ever caught up in this situation about the voice, I have laryngitis.
Yeah, exactly. But there's some really, yes, but there's some like really neat pointers I've had from people. Some of the things I didn't even consider. I thought this just made sense the way the story went, but people are like, this was actually pretty well thought out. I would have never considered something in that effect. Nice. It's just a lot of fun. And finally having this 3rd issue done, I can finally talk about, like, there's a lot of chaos that's about to happen.
Woo! You're bringing the fire like the firefighters, baby. Oh man,
there's a lot of chaos.
The Jamison verse is about to get it popping and burning, baby. Now, bro, let me ask. Just a couple of questions, a couple of last questions before we go, man. Because you're busy. You got to get this book done so that way when get ready for April. Now, when readers finish issue number 3, the finale, what feeling do you want sitting in the reader's chest?
Oh, that's very easy. As I was saying before about having the homage to camaraderie, there are times when people who haven't seen friends or family in a very long time, when they do get to meet up again, it could be 5 minutes in a parking lot or somebody's backyard at a barbecue. Doesn't matter how grand or small the time is. When you leave, your very essence feels refreshed from that. And in my biased opinion, I feel this will be a very similar feeling. You will feel refreshed vicariously through the characters. That is what I think. I'm not guaranteeing they all survive per se, but I do think you will feel like it's a night out with the boys. Like issue number 1, the first couple of pages, the sun is just going down. The last handful of pages in the final issue, the sun is just coming up. It is a complete package, and it will feel like, you know what, that felt like a full story. I actually appreciated where this went, and I liked it's I don't want to use end game because kind of Avengers is kind of monopolized that right now, but where the path went and where everything led to be, it feels like a complete story. I appreciate it. That's in my opinion and my goal is for people to feel that.
Excellent. Now finish this sentence, Ray. The Madcaps exist because
people are lonely whether they realize it or not.
Ooh.
So this story, like I mentioned, this homage, it is strictly, or it's just simply that theme told through the theme of a fantasy setting through the medium of a comic book. If you like any of those 3 things I mentioned, I can tell you with confidence you'll at least like it a little bit.
A little bit, just a tad. I would say a lot, not a little bit.
At least a tad. And I say that conservatively. I can say with confidence there's something you're going to like out of it.
I'm sure. But and Ray, we're here. It's 2026. Is early on in the year. What are the plans, man? You got any cons brewing? Any signings coming up? Anything where we could, talk to you about the Jamison verse in person?
Well, next fall I may be going to my first con as not a fan. An important piece of information we've already talked about. My publisher Phil Russert, he is going to be taking all 3 issues, putting them in a volume, and it's going to distribution across your LCS in all of North America. I'm beside myself. This is my first time writing a comic book, and it's getting distributed. So I'm really grateful for Phil. He believes in the product, and I'm just grateful to have this opportunity. It must be half decent. One thing, it's very cheap to prop up yourself. I have a friend that I work with. He says, I'm a really hard worker. Don't believe me, ask me. I'll tell you. But it's something else. It's something else to have somebody else that believes in you and says these nice things. Phil Russert, one of many, through his actions, is going as far and saying everybody should be reading this. So I am super happy.
Well, I trust in Phil too, because again, he's an independent creator himself, but also an advocate for indie, and I believe him, man. And everybody else should, because again, it's nice to see that other creators and whatnot get together in the community like that and support one another. And again, Phil is also doing something different with the distribution. So I'm happy to see that your book is going to get that graphic novel treatment and get it going. And definitely, I know Phil does the shows. That means I'm going to see Phil with your book. Hopefully, he'll go to a town near you, and you'll be with him at the booth next time.
It would be nice. I'm looking forward to doing that.
Yeah, we gotta make it happen. All right, so you said this is your first book, your first project, and it's taking off. You've been funded. Things are happening, brother. Like, what type of energy and words would you give to these young creators out there, like going and stepping into taking first steps into creating in 2026?
Write something. Do not show anybody until you finished your first draft, because, in my opinion, here's a great parallel. If you have to put new shingles on your roof and you tell 40 people, suddenly you're talking to 40 roofers. So what I would suggest is if you show it at the end, the people can see it for what it is and then give their input accordingly. But if you show people as you're going, sometimes they unintentionally steer you off of where your product's going and the story gets lost and muddied. But if you give the full thing, they'll contribute to where you're going as opposed to trying to lead you to where they think you want to go. that would be my number one piece of advice in my limited experience in this game.
You heard it, man. My man is doing it. Limited experience, but success nonetheless. On his third issue, finale, and then graphic novel time. And then we're going to get more, I'm sure. I know there's more stories in the Jamison verse. Right?
Time will tell.
Yeah, see, he's just a teaser. But everybody, if you want to send him outfits or a triple pole, he's in Canada somewhere, so you could,
there's there.
Kickstarter.
Right there.
Oh, there he goes. Oh, shit, he's ready. He's ready, bro. My man, he ain't messing around, folks. What I'm saying, but he a hustler. He's gonna make it happen. make it rain, baby. I love it. This is funny. So again, folks, check it out. Please follow my man Ray right here on IG at Raymond the DM. You heard? But most importantly, just like that QR code tells you up there, go to that Kickstarter project. It's Philboy Entertainment Madcaps issue 3. All right, go over there, get that notify me on launch. It's going to be popping off in April. Your tax return money will be in. So there's absolutely no excuse to say that we don't have no money. You heard? So this is how we do it, family. This is how indie comics win. So this is hard. This is hustle. Outside of the stripper pool, he just showed us that we still see on the corner. This is a creator coming back sharper, bolder, even hungrier than ever. So this is just the beginning of the Jamison verse, folks. You heard? And if you believe in taking risks, supporting creators, and stories that swing for the fences, you heard? That don't just watch, but move. I need you to obviously back this Kickstarter. All right, there we go. We got 2 things right there. Right, back to Kickstarter. Share it with your people, and be part of this madness early. Don't be late to it. You know what I mean? Be the trendsetter. You heard? Because the Madcaps is not waiting for permission, and neither should you. Right? So this is Al Mega with the amazing Ray Jamison, baby, reminding you: support indie, bet on creators, and always WEPA! Thank you for listening to the Comic Crusaders Podcast. If you like the content, please subscribe and turn on notifications. Also, please visit comiccrusaders.shop and our extended podcast family over at undercovercapes.com. And also, make sure to download the Comic Crusaders app on the Google Play Store today.